There's a cartoon called Bluey that's probably one of the most popular children's properties at the moment. At least I think so, based on everything I see. It's hard to know for sure because what I see from Bluey is people fighting about it, like on Twitter all the time. There's like this constant war raging about Bluey and adults watching Bluey or whatever. And I just don't really know anything about the show other than it's a very popular kids program. But anyway, it's become so popular that now people have started to do their own little like Bluey meet and greets where they'll buy a costume from Wish.com, throw it on and say, "Hey, come on over, we're doing a big Bluey event at our local business. It's our restaurant," and Bluey stopped in and said, "Man, that's delicious, so why don't you all come in and say hi to Bluey?" And even just throwing these last minute low effort Bluey parties ends with thousands of people flooding in the doors. It's become like an infinite money glitch. And for one restaurant, it actually turned into a bit of a catastrophe, kind of like a smaller scale Willy Wonka experience. All they said is, "Hey, we're doing a little Bluey party at our hot dog place." And people went ballistic, showing up and like driving hours out of their way just to be there. And what they got was a dude in a Bluey onesie. And it didn't even cover his face. It was just the guy with his normal face out. He had like a beard and everything, and apparently kids started like fucking hysterically crying in disappointment, and the parents were shaking their fists like, "How dare you! You've ruined Bluey! You're using his name in vain! This is fucking despicable, blasphemous even." You hear about the Las Vegas restaurant that has angered parents and upset children after hosting an event that promised a meet and greet with Bluey that went horribly wrong. Is that what that other chatter was talking about? They called it like the Bluey Doomsday or whatever? Is that what is happening with Bluey? I keep seeing Bluey as like some kind of drama talking point online, and I know nothing about it. All I know is it's a very, very popular kids program. What's happening? Has he been hijacked? Being exploited by demons or something out here? Let's see, Bluey meet and greet. Did he show up smoking a cigarette? Like what? I don't understand. Kids and parents were angry after underwhelming Bluey event in Vegas. Oh, so it's like the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and the Unknown then. Instead, they got a long line and a man in a onesie. "Thanks for ruining my 3-year-old's day," one person wrote on Facebook. A Dirt Dog restaurant promised screenings of the Australian kids' TV series, face painting, games, giveaways, and snacks, as well as the opportunity to meet Bluey and friends. But when parents took their kids to the free event at the restaurant, part of a national hot dog chain, on Saturday, they weren't impressed with what they saw. Timu Bluey costume. It's a guy in Bluey pajamas. It's not even an actual character costume. Well, I don't know a whole bunch about Bluey, but this looks pretty good to me. They just asked one of their employees to put this on. They found it at Walmart. It just said, "Rip it."
Bluey they expected was not who greeted them. On the left, this is a photo a parent took at an event with the popular cartoon character Bluey.
Yeah, but I don't know. They're both pretty good.
The kids were distraught. Some kids were crying. Some kids were upset, crying in their parents' shoulders.
3,000 people RSVP'd on the Facebook.
Yeah, but like, why though? Why would they be crying like, "Oh fuck, he's got a beard, it's not Bluey, no! Ah, get me out of here, Mom!"
Hey, I drove 1 hour just to see a grown man in PJs. Other parents defended Dirt Dog. It's a free event and a risk you take.
Yeah.
My son loved it.
My son had a great time. He came to see Bluey, and he got fucking Louie wearing the costume that we found out in the dumpster. What more can you ask for? He was such a good guy. He even stopped and talked to my son.
Taj Wilder of Dirt Dog broke down their side. She says, first of all,
that food looks good though.
Hot spot with a hip-hop edge. Expected a few dozen.
Bluey was big. I just didn't realize how big he was. The biggest takeaway.
You and me both.
Go all out. You want to do stuff for the community. Just make sure you do it at the highest quality.
Dirt Dog.
They seem to have a really good attitude about it. They seem sweet. They seem super sweet. Isn't Bluey a she? I know nothing about Bluey. I have no fucking clue. Bluey's popular as fuck. I know Bluey's huge. I'm very well aware. I see drama about Bluey all the time. There's like 2 different camps. Like I guess like Bluey adults or something. So people that watch Bluey without kids, and the people that say it's weird to watch Bluey without kids, and they're always butting heads on Twitter. But I don't know anything about Bluey. So like bronies, I guess kind of. But but I don't think they're watching Bluey sexually. You have to remember, bronies during their heyday, they masturbated to My Little Pony. I don't think Bluey's to that level. I think it's people that just really like the cartoon. I think that's all it is. It's not, I don't think it's sexual. Maybe it is. Like I said, I don't know anything about it. Only what I see on Twitter all the time. Do all bronies watch it for sexual gratification? Not all of them, but that was like the peak of it. You don't remember the, what was it, Sparkle Dash Cum Jar? Or Rainbow Dash Cum Jar? Like there's, most of it was sexual for bronies back in the day. Also, RIP to bronies. They have gone extinct. We were actually just talking about it on the podcast not long ago. Bronies completely fizzled out. They don't exist anymore. There's a woman on a podcast stating she indeed gets off to the dad on Bluey. I would look that up later. I'll listen to it. Why not? I'm already deep into the Bluey rabbit hole. Let's see what all the hype's about. Is Bluey's dad some kind of sex icon or something? What's this about? I mean, I'll listen to it, but it doesn't sound real. Like, I don't think she's actually sexually attracted to Bluey's dad. What the fuck is Bluey's dad's name? I'll address him by name. Put some respect on him. His name is Bandit. Okay, yeah, I don't think she's actually touching herself to Bandit. What the fuck? Why did this come up? Trigger warning, miscarriage episode of Bluey. Bluey tackles miscarriages? What in tarnation?
Is it the dog
cartoon?
show?
Dog show?
I put it on for my dog when I leave.
The dog dad? I would fucking fuck his brains out. The dog dad, he's funny, he's kind, he's smart.
He's a dog?
I have never, yes,
Okay.
he's a dog, and I have never been more attracted to anybody in my life.
Really?
And it is a cartoon dog.
Yeah, this definitely doesn't sound
Such
real.
a good dad.
He looks like a dog version of Phil Dunphy.
I've masturbated to him.
Really?
I have masturbated to him.
Like, I'm so curious though. Is he a cartoon?
He's a cartoon.
Were you?
What do you mean? You were just looking at it. Of course he's a cartoon in there. Would it be better if they brought out a real dog? Like, I think it's, like, both are bad, but I'd rather it be the cartoon dog, honestly. What the fuck? She's like, hold on, wait, let me throw you a bone here. It's a real dog that you're masturbating to, right? That's the fucking, you're lose-lose there.
You imagining you two together? Were you just reading to his personality?
I was reading to him.
Thank you for
have to hear his
clarifying.
voice, though. I was also reading to his voice.
Can you play a clip of his voice? Wait, what does Bluey sound like? Interesting. It just sounds like she was making some over-the-top silly shit. Like, I highly doubt she's done that. Maybe she has. I'm not her dad. I have no fucking clue. What was his name again? Bandit? Bluey Bandit Fart? Man, like I said, I don't know enough about, like, the Bluey fandom, but that sounded a lot like My Little Pony bronies right there. Are you telling me the first thing that comes up for Bluey Bandit is Bluey Bandit Fart? I don't know what the Out of Bed podcast is typically about, but man. Dog fucking, huh? Interesting. Do you remember that clip where the brony is at a My Little Pony convention and he goes up to the Q&A panel and asks the cast members about the sexual undertones of the show? Oh, God, yeah, I remember that. Oh, yeah. Damn. That is old. That's like, I think that might even be over 10 years old now, yeah. Like I said, bronies went extinct. They didn't even get, like, replaced by anything. They didn't, like, venture off into other fandoms. Bronies just vanished. I don't know what happened. Maybe there was, like, a great rapture or something, and they all went to, like, the My Little Pony Rainbow in the Sky. I don't really know, but they just aren't around anymore. Here's a membership, Carter. Have you seen the video of that brony who confessed to his dad on the phone that he jerks off to My Little Pony? He said it's called clopping dad. Is it real? I don't think so. And I don't think this is where the term clopping came from.
My friends are bronies, and I actually make animations and art for the brony community.
Man, speaking of extinction, do you remember Skype? Jesus Christ. I'm glad we evolved past Skype. Actual, just official malware.
Why you always underscored your fucking computer whenever I walk in? That's why you always turned off your monitor?
That's another thing. I kind of, watch porn relating to ponies.
What?
See, he's laughing about it. It's not real. That is still a crazy thing to do with your dad, though. Dad, I'm gonna give you a call real quick and just go with it.
What?
It's called clopping.
What? What are you... What? Are you
No, it's called clopping, Dad.
Oh my god, there is no way.
It's called clopping, Dad. It's something every brony does, okay?
It's a rite of passage. You don't get it.
Okay, so...
There's few accomplishments on this planet that have the same level of prestige as climbing Mount Everest. For the longest time, it was just viewed as one of the most impressive things a person could do. You conquered nature, you defied the gods, and climbed this ridiculous mountain. A mountain that's claimed more souls than Shang Tsung. Hundreds of people have died going on expeditions up Mount Everest, so much so that they actually use their corpses as waypoints. Like the famous Green Boots, which is an unidentified body of a climber who had green boots that perished on the mountain, and they now use them as a fucking waypoint. That is as extreme as shit gets. That is Insano style. So, climbing Mount Everest still has a very powerful reputation, though I will say, I feel like over the last few years, or maybe even like the last decade or so, its pedigree hasn't quite been the same. It's been perceived in a different way. Since it's so expensive to climb, a lot of people kind of view it now as more of like a rich person's getaway where they just go there to collect the Pokemon Gym badge to say that they climbed Mount Everest, and really what they did is just kind of had the Sherpas do everything for them. So a lot of people don't view Mount Everest the same way when it comes to these expeditions, but that's still not to say that it's easy by any means. People still die there all the time. This year alone, there's already been quite a few deaths on the mountain. So it's not Weenie Hut Jr. mode by any means, but it is worth mentioning that a lot of people don't view climbing Mount Everest the same way because it's become so commercialized. But the reason I'm talking about it today is because yesterday there was a story that came out about a man who was climbing Mount Everest and nearly died. But he was saved by a Sherpa. And after his life was saved by this fucking angel, a hero that literally carried this man on their back down the mountain to safety so they could be airlifted out, in response to that unbelievable action, the guy started thanking his sponsors, and only his sponsors. He never thanked the Sherpa that saved him, or really any of the Sherpas that helped save his life and perform this incredible rescue. He only had his sponsors to thank, at least until public backlash started mounting, and then he, like, you know, very quickly said thanks to the people that actually saved his life. It's just crazy. So let me go over this story with you because it's a wacky one. So this was posted on Instagram from the Sherpa that found and helped save this man's life. I hope I don't fuck up the name pronunciation. I think it's Gelje Sherpa. But basically, they were on an expedition and they had a client and noticed that this guy was about to go meet the big man upstairs. He was on death's door, about to get a game over screen, and decided to cancel the trip and focus instead on rescuing him and saving his life. So they strapped the man to Gelje Sherpa's back and began the 6-hour journey downward in order for him to be airlifted out. He is literally carrying this guy on his back. This is some shit out of Death Stranding. Now, of course, this wasn't the only Sherpa that helped here. There was a lot of people that came to the aid and saved this man's life, and he had nothing to say about his saviors here. Instead, he immediately went to thanking his sponsors. His statement was, "I shit you not, I am alive today because I had the best and dedicated partners, the 14th Peaks Expedition Co. and Global Rescue Inns." On his own Instagram post, this is all he had to say. How important is rescue team and heli rescue on Everest expedition? Believe me, it's very important. I'm alive today because I had the best and dedicated partners, the 14th Peaks Expedition Co. and Global Rescue. Everest in previous years, especially in 2022, was good, but in 2023 it was tough and taking many lives. He literally doesn't even mention the people that actually saved him, and instead just takes this as like a sponsorship opportunity to try and like help make his brand partners happy. Like, oh guys, look, the most recent Everest expedition went tits up. I almost died. But thanks to the Ridge Wallet and fucking Blue Apron, I'm alive here today. So, all's good in the world, and I can't wait to get back out there again with my brand partners. As the light was leaving my eyes, my vision fading, I thought to myself, I can't afford to die here, because I've got Raid Shadow Legends to be playing at home. Damn it. And that's the only thing that got me through that expedition at the top of Everest. That's the only reason I made it back in one piece. That's just fucking crazy to me. There's no shot he just forgot to mention the people that saved him. There's no way you could forget who saved your fucking life. This was a conscious decision to not even mention them for some reason, and instead just mention your sponsors. It blows my mind. Now, like I mentioned, a lot of people started blowing up at this guy, you know, saying, why aren't you mentioning, you know, Geljae Sherpa and everyone that helped save you? And eventually he made a post where he thanked all the Sherpas that had a role in his rescue, which does include Geljae Sherpa. But the fact that they had to, like, pry that thank you out of him is so baffling. They had to squeeze this guy like a tube of Go-Gurt in order for him to just acknowledge the people that actually saved him on that mountain. And Geljae Sherpa seems like a saint, because even after all of that, Geljae just said, thank you, hope you're recovering well. So he really just cared that the guy was alive and, you know, healthy after all of this. So he is a fucking saint. Because the man whose life was saved got an entire press tour out of this. He went on television, he had tons of posts. This was a big story. And he didn't acknowledge anyone that saved him, which seems like such a slap in the face of the people that risked their lives to save his. And even still, they just seem happy that they were able to help and that this guy is now alive. Now, I want to show another clip that kind of goes over it a bit more. This is from CNN when they covered this story earlier this week.
The guide was climbing with someone else up Mount Everest when he spotted the climber in distress, clinging to a rope and shivering. Temperatures in that area can drop to negative 86 degrees Fahrenheit. The Sherpa wrapped the climber up, put him on his back, and carried him down, descending nearly 2,000 feet.
In places where it was rockier, we could not drag him. We had to carry him on our backs with difficulty.
How do you not thank them? I can't get over that. This is not something that you just, you know, slipped your mind. You know, happy to be alive, but I'm even happier my sponsors are still behind me. They got my back. Oh, and then, of course, yeah, also some people saved me. Like, I don't know how you don't thank them. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about this a little bit because I thought it was kind of a wild story, and that's about it. So yeah. The world is in a very weird state right now. Corruption has sunk its fangs into everything around us. The price of eggs just keeps going up. You could get a single carton of eggs for the same price as a down payment on a Tesla. Yeah, I can't believe the wacky state of the world, eh? Who would have thought? But by far, the biggest display of injustice in our society was something that took place last night at the Streamer Awards. The Streamer Awards are an annual, high-quality production spearheaded by QT Cinderella. It's an event that every human being on the planet looks forward to every year, and they make the Oscars ceremony look like a participation trophy awards show for the second-string JV sports clubs at a high school. It's an amazing and fun event that just brings everyone in the space together to just have some fun. And it's voted on by fans to just kind of celebrate the space. As you all know, last year, I was the recipient of the prestigious Variety Streamer of the Year category. This year, Radio Silence. I wasn't nominated for anything. Now, me being an adult and being the strong, hulking, masculine embodiment of what it means to be a testosterone-fueled titan, I can handle that. I'm okay with it. I understand. But not everyone is as mentally strong or has my level of fortitude, so there were riots, there were protests at the Streamer Awards ceremony. And I kind of just want to talk about that a little bit because I think it's important too.
Dude, it suits you, man. Huh? It suits you, like the fancy. For real? I'm nervous.
I watched it unfold live. The chaos was almost too much for me to bear. People protesting on my behalf, I never would have wanted such a thing, but as you could see, it was inevitable. I wasn't nominated for any categories, and people, they had enough. So, as you can see, a few rioters showed up there. I don't know those men, and I can only imagine the ones that didn't make it that must have been protesting right outside. But these three noble heroes snuck in. As you can see, they're strategically planted in the blind spots of security, like a game of fucking Assassin's Creed. They had no idea they were there. And, well, it only escalated from there.
As far as anyone who's anyone is here...
What?
Wait, what are we doing here?
They gotta work on security. You got some fucking hooligans turning up.
Pretty much, we weren't nominated this year, and it's a bigger spit in the face than spitting in God's face. It's like slapping God on his freaking ass and then asking him to come show up anyways. I don't know why we were nominated if you don't have the respect to give us the time of day.
Is this a protest?
Yeah, this is a protest. Yep,
protest,
you got it right on the dot.
I think they have something. I think
like
they're onto
Moist
something.
Critical right now.
Yeah.
A second-class citizen. A class citizen.
Oh, because 2.
It's like an afterthought, but not like a good afterthought like the Chow Garden in Sonic Adventure Battle 2. More like a bad afterthought like the script in Avatar The Way of Water.
Yeah, have you ever heard of the franchise Hunger Games? That's my arm right there.
He's speaking facts.
I kind of carried the franchise, and
Hollywood
you didn't have the guts to nominate us. So now we're on protest.
All right, okay. Well, let me ask you guys. What should you have been nominated for?
Everything.
Yeah, everything. Yeah.
Agreed. They're on to something.
Yep.
Look, let me show you something. What we have here is Brendan Fraser's talented actor Bathwater.
Yep.
What?
So, when he was filming The Whale, after the shoot, he took off the fat suit, and for about 6 hours each day of shooting, he would soak in a bath. This is 75% Brendan Fraser sweat, 25% water.
Don't drink it.
Well, let him take a swig. It's like nectar.
It's gonna mess me up.
I'm a big fan of
Don't
The
drink
Mummy.
it.
Well, when you drink it,
They're treating Brendan Fraser's sweat like it's poison, which is honestly insulting. I imagine if that truly was his sweat in the jar, like I imagine it would be, probably ethically sourced right from Brendan himself, you'd be lucky enough to be able to try some of that absolute sweet potion. That'd be like a panacea. It'd heal all your wounds, make you taller, put more hair on your chest. Like, what a generous gift they came bearing. This is the most peaceful protest I've ever seen in my fucking life.
For you.
These homeless men are really upset. I told you the corruption has really angered the entire community.
You're watching Moist Critical stream of this.
Charlie and Charlie's stream. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, it's kind of funny he came back to us right now because he didn't have the courtesy to nominate us. It's kind of like spitting in God's face and then asking him to beg for forgiveness. It's kind of pathetic.
Back
I give
at
it
it
back
again.
because I figured that was for you. So.
What was that for me? I don't know who those guys are. It's just they're as
We
upset
are
as everyone
going
else is
to-
about this whole situation.
I'm gonna
honestly, it's a
come down
sham
right down
that I wasn't
here,
nominated
so
and they've
that
had enough.
Valky
clearly.
Ray.
This is me extending an olive branch. I'm calling for a ceasefire. This anger is misplaced. It's not the way of the Jedi. This is a fan-nominated ceremony, which means I fell off. That means my stream wasn't clapping cheeks the way it was last year. And as hard as it is to take responsibility, there's really only one place you can point your finger, only one entity to shoulder the blame, and that's everyone but me. It's actually a giant conspiracy on the same level as Hollow Earth. There's some true foul play going on behind the scenes, not only in the community, but on the platform itself. I ask you, when was the last time my stream was on the front page of Twitch or even recommended on Twitch? Do I hear zero? Because that's the correct answer, which is weird. I mean, I do a lot of innovative, cool shit on Twitch. Like, just like a month ago, I was talking about Bill Cosby's upcoming comedy tour, and even chat was being very helpful with giving, like, ways to survive. You know, bring your own snacks. If you start yawning, immediately dial 911. Like, we go over important topics. We do crazy shit. Like, I played Sons of the Forest really fast, and I only cried twice because of how fucking bad that game was and how awful and boring the speedrun was after the fucking 20th time of running it. Point is, I mean, like, hey, you know, these streams, you know, they're just as good this year as last year. I mean, so something must have gone wrong. There must have been some kind of outer forces at work in order to keep me suppressed, or perhaps they didn't want me to win too many times, which I think is probably the leading theory. But regardless, it's clearly not me who's hurt. I'm not the one offended. It's pandemonium on the streets right now of LA. Those were only 3 protesters that made it inside the venue undetected. But I've seen pictures, I've read reports about thousands upon thousands showing up wondering, where's Moist Critical at? You know, I wasn't on the ballot. You know what, it's not important though, because at the end of the day, the event was fucking amazing. QT Cinderella and the entire production team absolutely outdid themselves. This was bigger and better than last year, and I fucking loved watching it. Huge thanks to QT Cinderella for letting me even watch party it in the first place. I really wanted to go, but I do have a legitimate debilitating fear of flying, so that was kind of off the table, and it's literally like a 3-day road trip from where I'm at to get to California, and that's just a very difficult thing to make happen, so I couldn't be there myself, but she allowed me to still co-stream it and watch it with the chat, and celebrate and just be part of the fun. But luckily, you know, I've cloned myself, we have doppelgangers, and they were able to attend in my place, and they made a very fun spectacle out of it. Of course, they were kissing each other, per usual. I still don't fully understand
why, but like if you watch the Twitch highlight of the Streamer Awards, when the Charlies are on screen, they do a threesome kiss for some reason. It's fantastic work. Absolutely. I guess that is what I'm known for, you know, kissing myself. Just a really huge thanks. I always appreciate that they're willing to do something like that, and it's become just a cherished tradition at this point. So big thanks to Joel Haver, Kevin Amarillo, and Demetrios Michalikis. I think it's always just spectacular. So I just want to talk about this a little bit because the Streamer Awards are something that I think is very special. I always love, like I mentioned, when a creator does something big and branches out from just standard content online from like gaming or talking or whatever and doing these huge productions and taking a risk like this. And QT does it like no one else does. The production, the event, is unlike anything else in the space. It's a huge venue, very professional, and just so well put together and fun, and it always just... It deserves a huge round of applause from everyone who enjoys live content or anything like that because it's spectacular. So I just wanted to highlight that and the great work her and her team have done for this. Absolutely fucking killed it. Can't wait for the next one next year. And yeah, that's really about it. So yeah. Yesterday, one of the largest and longest running scams in Twitch history was brought to light. It was led by a streamer named It's Slicker, and it wasn't like some big, tight operation or anything. It's Slicker is a streamer that was friends with many other streamers and had a very strong community, and over the course of a couple years, he asked many of his viewers, his mods, and his friends for loans, promising to pay them back within a few months, but never did. And in total, it looks like he may have scammed around $300,000 from viewers, mods, and friends. However, the exact total isn't known, and yesterday, Slicker even admitted all of it on stream. And I just want to preface this video by saying it does involve gambling. Slicker has a self-admitted gambling addiction, and it's a very serious and debilitating illness, but it doesn't excuse any of Slicker's behavior. The scamming is absolutely indefensible. Now what you're going to see is the real-time investigation that I conducted on stream that'll show the whole story and go over everything. These are some hefty accusations here. I'm going to have to get the monocle out and take a peek for myself. Get to the bottom of this one. He got 27K from a streamer? I feel like we're just making shit up now. I don't believe that. A streamer gave him 27K? Lent him 27K? Who? Scroll down. I don't want spoilers. I want to go in order.
Yo, Typhoon, what's up, baby? I hope you don't hate me on this. It's so cringe, and I'm cringe for asking my brother, please do not hate me.
No.
Please, keep it personal as well. Basically, my bank account got locked. This has happened for like 3-4 days. I've been asking around people. Sadly, today, well, tomorrow is the last day until my...
Just a quick pet peeve. I don't mean to immediately cut him off. I hate videos that are like this. The pretending to look busy. Oh, it's also really low, isn't it? I still have it set on volume from last night here, sorry. I hate it. Like, he's just acting like he's got things going on, like shuffling around the house at a weird angle. Oh, it's just such a weird vibe. Like, if you're gonna film a video, just sit still and do it. Don't just, like, wander around aimlessly like an NPC glitching out in a quest line. It's just much simpler.
Fucked up. It got locked out, and I was looking for people that actually work, and that I could ask if I could borrow from, and I'll pay back. Genuinely, give me 2 months and I can pay back. If you can't, no worries, my brother. If you can, but please, don't feel forced to say yes. Yeah, I'm sorry I couldn't get in the call to do this. It's so I feel genuinely embarrassed. I've asked a few streamers, they couldn't help, and
oh,
yeah,
don't be embarrassed. No shame.
So I just went out, asked a few subs I've noticed, and yeah, that's why I also asked for your age, because I don't.
Okay. So the story is, he asked his viewers, as well as streamers I suppose, to send him money saying he'd pay them back in 2 months, and never has. That's the gist of it, right? Turn up more. I mean, it's maxed on both OBS and here. It's just he was doing like ASMR for this fucking video. Okay, and then I saw this in the comments, but I haven't clicked any yet, so let's go through these. Hopefully this is chronologically ordered. It's LSF, I would expect nothing else. Alphabetized as well. Perhaps using the Dewey Decimal System. Read the convo, still got my issue with money. You can't borrow for a few days, and I bust back. Nah, sorry, bro. Legit. What's the issue anyway? 200 quid for 300. Can't be bothered explaining. Long story with my accountant. You get that in 2 days or less, or even today or tomorrow. You get an extra 100 quid. Sounds like a RuneScape scam. I'm assuming this is just a viewer. Oh, okay, I see. So at the end of the clip, I thought I might have misheard him because he's fucking whispering into my ear like little sweet nothings. He asked his age, didn't he? That's what he said at the end of the clip, right?
It's okay. So I just went out, asked a few subs I've noticed, and yeah, that's why I also asked for your age, because I don't.
That's why I also asked for your age. It looks like he did that to a lot of people, because this starts with I'm almost 17 and yeah, which means he probably asked how old are you. Okay. Wait, you work at 16? What the fuck? Yeah, kind of common. At 16, bro? Never mind, I need a fave, but I feel you're young to ask. Oh. God, what a creepy vibe. Jesus. My bank got temp locked and I need to buy my mother a plane ticket to Iraq since my GMA got corona. Plane ticket cost $575, but I don't know, man. I don't know who to ask. I won't ask a streamer because their ego is nasty as fuck. One of his loyal viewers gave him 7K? Oh, God! October, November, December, June. Oh, my lord. These were monthly payments. What was he running? A protection racket or something? Like the mafia? What did he do with the money? Like, does he just spend it on, like, gambling? Does he, like, dump it into cars? What does he do? Full disclosure, I'm not super familiar with Slicker. I've only met him, like, twice. One of them was during a League of Legends tournament, and that was pretty miserable. Not because of him, just the tournament itself. We just got steamrolled. So I'm not, like, really familiar with him overall. But this seems pretty bad. It's always the same stuff. I don't understand. As a streamer, how can you be so low IQ? Everything gets leaked. Literally everything gets leaked. So if you're scamming viewers and streamers alike, how can you possibly think for 1 second that's never gonna come up? God. It has to be gambling. It has to be gambling. I can't imagine what else he's spending this money on. Is he big into gambling? Literally everyone is saying yes. Does he gamble on stream, or is this just like an in-person thing? Yeah, that's what chat was saying. He took 28K from someone named Luca. Or, Jesus, Luke AFK. We haven't gotten that far yet. That's just like a little spoilers from chat. Such a weird cold open too. Yo, bro. Yo, how old are you? Like, who opens with that? Well, this time he actually did a call. Damn, this one was only, like, 3 weeks ago. August 29th. Oh my god, this one was last week! Oh, Jesus! What the fuck? And then the streamers people mentioned Minx, Ludwig, Slime, and Luke AFK. Is there any others? So apparently Ludwig and Slime both gave him money. Minx gave him money, and Luke AFK apparently gave 27K. Or 28K.
Yeah. I lost 27,000 from giving a lend to Slicker.
God, that's so
I thought
painful.
I could trust him, and I guess I just couldn't, bro. And I'm honestly, like, I'm really fucking sad about it. You know, like, I'm actually...
Well, as anyone would be, 27 grand... 27,000 barnacles. Oh. Bro, that guy probably thought himself a saint for a while. Like, damn, that's my good deed for the next 5 years. Because, I mean, judging by all these screenshots, Slicker was coming up with really big sob stories, so he was probably like, damn, I just saved this guy's life. When really all he did was fund a couple extra spins. That's a year's wage for some people. Yeah, it is. That's a lot of doubloons. He asked me to in DMs on Twitter. I'm ex-staff I'm ex-Twitch staff admin. He asked me out of the blue on Twitter, and he signed a gambling sponsorship a couple days ago and got paid up front $5K. Jesus Christ. I'm almost insulted he never asked me. What the fuck? Why would... I'm not good enough to ask for money? Okay, Slicker, whatever. I don't think I follow him on Twitter, that might be why. Damn. Drats. No, I don't trust that shit. I don't blame people, like his viewers, for believing that story. But just as a general lesson, a streamer of Slicker's size is never going to have money trouble unless quite literally they have an absolutely debilitating gambling addiction and they have spent every dime. If I remember correctly, he holds 5K subs, right? Somewhere in that ballpark, 3 to 5K subs. You have to be remarkably irresponsible with your money to be anywhere close to not well off. Because that's just subs. No, he holds around 1.6 now. What? When he was on my League of Legends team, he had like 5K subs. What happened? That was only like 8 months ago. He has 600 subs and averages 600 viewers. Well, I'm going to look for myself. Because if that's true, that's a colossal fall off in a very short amount of time. Oh, wow. What the fuck happened? Did he stop streaming? My lord. That shit's looking like Netflix stock.
He's awake right now. I know for sure he's awake.
Yeah, he probably asked for money around this time.
I know for sure he's awake. I don't give a shit. Dude,
his mods were unbanning.
Is he using Skype?
People.
He scammed his own mods? Are you fucking kidding me?
That's not surprising. He scammed everyone. That's equal opportunity scamming right there, baby.
He tweeted he'll address it tomorrow.
I have no doubt that'll go well. Unless this is all like one giant disinformation campaign. I don't know how you really come back from it. But there's so many reports from so many streamers, viewers, and mods. I don't know how you come back from it. He even filmed himself asking for money. But I'm always open to hearing the other side. And I know that stream's gonna be a banger.
You might be banned by tomorrow. What do you mean? Why would you get banned? What do you mean?
Bro, I'll just say it here as well. My intentions were not to scam. I have paid a few people back, but I'll say it on stream tomorrow.
Okay.
Well, why did you pay the streamers back and not the people who... Oh.
That doesn't really save it, though. If the intention wasn't to scam, that's not really the problem. Here's my guess. The intention was to make up for losses from gambling, and his idea was not too dissimilar from like a pyramid scheme almost, right? You take in a big influx of money and you pay the investors back with the incoming stuff, right? So his idea was probably, I'll take this money in, I'll win big gambling, and I'll pay them back, and now I'm up. Or Ponzi. Ponzi, not pyramid. Ponzi. Sorry, I got him fucked up. That's my guess. Again, I'm not super familiar with Slicker, but that's what it sounds like to me. I fully believe him that his intention wasn't just to take money from these people without paying them back. He truly believed he would be able to make more money with their money and pay them back. But you know how that goes. He could start a GoFundMe. Yeah. Feel really bad for all those people. That's a lot of lost money. Yeah. You can't help but feel bad for the people that thought they were doing a good thing to help out someone they liked. Bro, imagine though. Imagine Slicker won big. Fucking fat big buckaroos. The massive mega jackpot Omega Millions. He pays everyone back and he's still viewed positively. Just get better at gambling, idiot. It's free money. Eventually. Yep, that's the stat. 90% of gamblers quit right before the big win. Heartbreaking. But the good news is it doesn't seem like he ever quit, so he's still due for that big win. Do you think he can get arrested for this? I don't know, man. What do I look like? The authorities? I have no fucking clue. I guess it would depend on what the people he scammed choose to do. Because, I mean, you can't, like, scam legally, right? Like, you can get sued. So it'd be up to them to, like, press it forward. But then they'd be out even more money. So here's his first ask. So looking for $1,000 here. Which is, like, the standard ask he seems to have been doing. Oh, I see my cam's blocking it. I'll just read it. I don't feel like moving the cam. If I asked, would it be okay to borrow and I get you when I'm back? Don't worry, King, you can say no. Keep it personal as well because I'm embarrassed. I recorded that because they won't allow screenshots on the app. Is $1,000 okay? I got you. An extra. Are you able to do Bitcoin King in case you think I'm hacked? Or PayPal is fine. Thank you so much. It's okay. It would mean a lot. But believe me, 1K is fine. Thank you. I got it. So that's Lakari. He sent through the money. Slicker confirmed he got it. And then this is Slicker attempting to pay him back. He shows a screenshot of money that was supposedly sent to Lakari, but then it turns out it wasn't. It turns out it was canceled. So he's like, oh, what in tarnation? What the fuck? That's weird. It's gone from my bank now. So they didn't pay him back. Oh no. How is this? It just keeps getting worse. Botez lended him 10K. Ah. Did she just say that? Let's see. This is hot off the press right now. I wonder if we can tally up the total amount that he was able to scam if enough people come forward with their receipts. They're tallying it up on Asmon's stream and they're saying it's right around 200K plus. Not bad. not bad. Wow. Damn, he's good. Yeah, he's good. I'm surprised he was able to do it for so long, especially with such a weird opener. Again, like, look at these screenshots. Almost all of them start with, how old are you? Immediately went to the very only one that isn't opened like that. Okay, my god. Yeah. Just a cold opener with how old are you? That's just with random viewers, though. He was far more personal with streamers and friends. I just pulled up the Lakari post. Yeah, I agree. He was a lot more, like, I wouldn't necessarily say personal, though. He just made it a lot sadder. So, like, with Lakari, he was like, look, you can say no. It's totally fine if you say no. I'll still think you're a king. But listen, King, I need $1,000. And again, you can say no, but it'd really mean a lot to me if you gave me $1,000. Believe me, I'll pay you back and then some. So if $1,000 would be really appreciated. But again, you don't have to. But I would really appreciate it if you did. Here's my PayPal. Here's your Tempest. I don't. So apparently on Asmon's stream, they're tallying it up and they're saying it's like a little north of 200K. I don't think it's 200K. If I had to guess based on all of the ones I know about, like that I've seen so far, I would say it's probably right around that 125 to 150 grand ballpark. That would be my guess. I don't know how many of his mods he scammed though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Train did give him $100,000. Not surprised.
The epitome of gambling. I would never won.
Is this true?
200,000. My father hears this. I need to get help.
That's true.
How? I always wished I could get help from it.
There are so many courses and places to help with gambling addiction. There's a ton of options.
Yeah, man. Keep a little bit for myself, gamble the money. See if I can win and maybe owe people back with that money. I lose that money.
Exactly what I thought.
Alone. I don't know what to do. Then I ask someone else, hey, can you give me 500?
That is exactly what we were all speculating. Unlucky.
This is not a man. These gambling sites you're witnessing. Yeah, I was actually I was gonna do some sponsors. I don't know.
I mean, so far it seems like he's not making any excuses. He's not trying to sugarcoat it. He has a gambling addiction.
How can he trust me?
And it's completely ruined him.
How can he trust?
Started with CSGO. Like he would use the money he'd beg for CSGO cases? Or is that where he attributes like the start of his addiction? What you just saw is legitimate gambling addiction, the darkest side of it. People like to downplay it a lot, but that is actually life ruining. What's the stat? 1 in 4 gambling addicts take their own life? It is a legitimately, like, life ruining addiction that people make light of. It's 1 in 5. 1 in 5. I knew it was something like that. But you have to push for the max win. I mean, you're right. You're guaranteed a max win at some point in your life. It's just a matter of, are you man enough to stick it out? That's right. Amen, brother. I hope Slicker gets the help that he needs. Gambling addiction's fucking rough. And hopefully the people that got scammed get their money back somehow. So, here, let me see the clips. Chat was kind of giving me the dirty details as they unfolded. It seems that roughly, what, 50 or so victims? And the clips have an update. Oh, here we go.
Ever since CS...
And Trainwrecks TV gave 100 grand, like just straight up from... That's one person, 100 grand. And we also know Luke AFK gave 28 grand. We know Botez gave 10 grand. And these are just some of the heavy hitters. So it's definitely over 200. Very, very well over 200.
CSGO, not to blame, but ever since CSGO Lounge came out, it was the first time I went on that site, and
He himself was like, yeah, no one should really defend me. You can't. It's an indefensible thing. Yes, it is a legitimate illness, but I mean, it's not like that's an excuse to scam this many people for this long. Train gave him 100k to pay off all debt and then cut all contact with him after. Oh, and he didn't use it to pay people back? Well, this is fucking sad,
I'm
man.
not a victim. I'm not a victim. Man, wallah, I never knew this tape was gonna come, bro.
Okay, this is just fucking sad. That's just making me sad. I don't know why you'd tell me to watch that. Fake tears. It's hard to say. Gambling addiction is a real thing, though. He deserves all this backlash for scamming for so long. It's still just a very sad thing overall, though. I don't want to see a guy fucking break down about it. Like, you can feel bad for someone's mental health while also condemning their actions. Again, gambling addiction's a very real thing. It's a genuine illness, but it doesn't excuse anything he did. So I don't feel bad that he got called out for it and now his whole career's in the shitter from it. That was his decision to keep going. Apparently Train even tossed him 100 grand lifeline to pay everyone back and he gambled it away instead. But that still doesn't mean I want to celebrate watching him cry on stream. I've resisted the urge for about a week to discuss this, but I can fight it no longer. This video keeps floating around on Twitter, and I need to opine on it. My opinion is like a demon that needs to be exorcised, and that's what I'm doing right now. What you're about to see is unacceptable, unholy, and inhumane. Its very existence makes me question whether or not there is a higher power out there, because if there was, why would they allow this to exist? A TikTok realtor recently posted a video taking us all on a walkthrough of the only place worse than hell, a house in Toronto. Now, I can't play the audio from the video because it was just popular DMCA-able music, so instead I'm going to be making my own music with my mouth, so enjoy my beatboxing. Ooh. The only music that should be playing during this video is circus music, because you'd have to be the stupidest fucking clown on the planet to pay almost $2 million for this. Now what you'll instantly notice is the house is extremely narrow. It looks like it's closing in on itself like a trap in Indiana Jones. The house is about as wide as 2 tissue boxes set side by side. If you put both of your arms out at the same time, you would touch both walls. It's like that obstacle in Ninja Warrior courses where you do like the spiders up the wall. You can do that in your own house for $2 million almost. Put that down. Just look at this shit. You're basically paying $2 million for a coffin. There's no space here at all. God forbid more than 2 people try and use this place at the same time. You'll have to take turns walking through the corridors or else you just bump into each other and get stuck. When you live in this house, you probably have to have something on your front door that says whether or not it's vacant or occupied, like an airplane bathroom. Now, if this was more reasonably priced and not $2 million, I really wouldn't have an issue with it. At the end of the day, a home's a home, right? So if it just had the right price point, I don't think there'd be any issues. It's still kind of goofy as a design, because it looks like it was designed to be some kind of supervillain secret lair behind a rotating bookshelf or something out of a cartoon, because it's so goddamn narrow. I can't really wrap my head around there. But you're paying $2 million to live in a place where you basically have to treat it like you're diving through caves, like squeezing around like a worm. Davy Jones. Haunts. My home. Another complaint I have about this place is the actual design inside. There's an entire wing of this sarcophagus that's just pure orange. Orange wallpaper, orange floors, orange everything. Feeling like you're living at Nickelodeon Studios. You know, you walk in here and think you're gonna fucking get slimed. I think it all looks super ugly. And all the furniture here, like the TV, the stand, the couch, the chair, all of that, it looks like it's fitted here like Tetris pieces. Excuse me, dear. Can you pass the Yeah, that's right. $2 million and they put this shitter in the master bedroom. Now you can wake up hugging the toilet just like the good old college days. The toilet and shower in your master bedroom just inches away from your twin-sized bed because that's the biggest bed they could fit in this fucking house. For $2 million, you can quite literally shit where you sleep. It'd be better at this point just to go outside and squat. I'm sure my neighbors would understand. I love the audacity to include this outside area as if this is some kind of luxury home. This just seems like it's more for like public humiliation. Like you wake up in the morning, you stretch, you hit your head on the ceiling and bang your arms and legs on the side of the room. And then you walk outside with your morning coffee and the neighborhood's laughing at you and lobbing tomatoes at you because you're just like this fucking jester, a joke who paid $2 million for this piece of shit. I can't believe the shamelessness to charge $2 million for this piece of property. This has to be some kind of elaborate ruse or some kind of experiment. A way of diagnosing mental illness quickly. Like if someone bids on this house or, God forbid, outright buys it, they should be immediately locked up in an insane asylum. Or imprisoned for being completely reckless and irresponsible. They have to be a danger to society. There has to be some kind of screw loose to convince someone that this is worth $2 million. Or even haggling at the $2 million price range. But anyway, I couldn't help but just talk about this a little bit because it's so outrageous. That's about it. So yeah. Yesterday I posted a video talking about the dancing OK Boomer girl on Twitter, you know, the one doing the shit on Twitter that started the giant simp war. At the end of the video I talked about how she revealed she had a boyfriend and that was the end of that. The ceasefire was called and everyone was all good. I couldn't have been more wrong. In fact, this was simply a ruse. The Twitter simp war never stopped. In fact, that was just a fake olive branch leading to a simp ambush. And as embarrassed as I am to say this, I'm just so fucking ashamed of this, I contributed to the Twitter simp war. I fanned the flames of it. But I'll get to that shit in a minute and it actually makes me sick. I want to talk about what happened with the girl, Nico. At the time of when I posted the video, made it and all that, there was no real aftermath. There wasn't any, like, carnage. There wasn't fucking burned down cities or anything, or, you know, churches turned to ruin. People just moved on. They realized she had a boyfriend, they washed their hands of it, stopped foaming at the mouth like a rabid dog and coming in their diapers. They got over it. However, later that night, a big portion of those once true white knights went out of their way to get her Twitter account suspended. But not even that was enough for them. They didn't have their pound of flesh. They went after her TikTok as well, trying to get that suspended. That one never went down, but her Twitter was suspended for about an hour or so. She got it back. So in response, they copyright struck the dance video, the OK Boomer dance video, which, from what I can see, is still copyright claimed. And not by the person who made the song. They have come out publicly saying they didn't issue that. It was that group of people that are upset to find out that they never stood a chance of taking her to prom or anything. So after that, they really dug deep into their asshole to pull out their ultimate weapon, their final Manhattan project, the unfollow button. They mass unfollowed her account and she lost roughly 130,000 followers over the course of 24 hours. That is a fucking speed run right there. That's a speed run world record any percent shit. Fucking O.J. Simpson could go on Twitter right now and post a video admitting to the murders, and he would not lose that many followers in a day. That shit was on another level, what happened with Nico here. I've never seen something like that. All because she just told the world she had a boyfriend. She didn't feel she needed to hide it. I feel super bad for Nico here because she rose to stardom overnight just doing something she enjoyed doing, something wholesome, dancing. And then all of a sudden people get mad at her for having a life outside of their fantasy internet girl thing. It's just some sad shit. All around, just some super pathetic shit, honestly, from the Twitter Simp Wars. Now, what I talked about earlier, where I unfortunately contributed to it, actually makes me fucking sick. So what do I mean by that? I made that video yesterday talking about all of this Twitter Simp Wars because it was an entertaining topic. I didn't make it to try and lead some type of, holy crusade against the simps or anything like that. It was just to make jokes about it, as I always do with situations like this. Not some type of serious revolution I'm trying to start or some kind of movement. It's just to make some fucking jokes about it. But unfortunately, a lot of euphoric, enlightened, atheist Redditors watched that video and went on this holy crusade to eliminate the simps and, violently harass them, dox them, just some crazy shit. Because for the first time in a long time, I didn't censor the names of someone I showed on Twitter. So when I showed that thread about, the nudes troll thing, people went out of their way to attack those people and anyone they felt was an actual simp. Full disclosure, that thread of the nudes troll thing, those were all people making jokes. At the time, I didn't know that because on Twitter, it's hard to fucking tell. There are people that pathetic. There's people that make out with their dogs on Twitter. It's hard to tell what's a joke and what's not. So this led to this crazy witch hunt on Twitter between who's a real simp, who's an ironic simp, and then who's this Redditor that's coming in here with this fucking justice boner doing nothing but making things worse. Which means I added an Act 2 to this Twitter simp war completely unintentionally. I've learned my lesson now. I can't trust people to behave themselves if I show someone's name. I don't know why people can't just sit back and laugh about an entertaining situation like the Twitter Simp Wars here. I don't know why they have to go out of their way to try and prove something to themselves or God that they're fighting for the, what's right by attacking these dudes on Twitter making jokes about it or some shit. I don't understand why someone is so compelled to go out of their way to fight for hours, and it's not a small number. This is over 1,000 people at least did this, fight for hours with these people joking about being simps, or they may have fought with real simps. It's literally impossible to tell. It's like that Spider-Man picture where he's pointing at himself and accusing each other. It's baffling to me how a large group of people could sit there and watch the video yesterday, realize it's all for jokes, but then take it as a call to arms to go on Twitter and fight for hours. Why? People go out of their way to play in the fucking pig pen, the little swamp, and just fight battles on Twitter for no fucking reason. And then I feel responsible for it because now I've contributed to something like that, completely unintentionally. I've learned my lesson. I'm definitely going to keep blocking out people's names because I can't trust how someone's going to respond to it. It's silly. When I make a video like the one yesterday talking about some shit like that, it's just to make jokes about it. I'm not trying to rile up the community to take up arms, Cheetos in hand and Mountain Dew in the other and go charge the front lines of Twitter. I'm just making fucking jokes about it. It's just there to have a little fun. And yet some people take it to this extreme and make it something entirely negative, and it's upsetting. That's really about it. Hopefully that's the end of the great Twitter simp war of 2020. Hopefully that puts a nice little bow on it. And yeah, that's about it. See ya. Yesterday I made a video making jokes at a man named Brian Taylor, who's an Australian sports commentator who went out of his way to insult an esports team at a football game for no reason. And now all 5 of Brian Taylor's fervent fans on Facebook are mad at me, so they've got their pitchforks out. They've rallied the entire anti-vaccination group of moms there to target me and get mad at me, all because I insulted their hero with some jokes. And I also want to talk about Reddit because the video got posted there, and Reddit has to be the most humorless place on the fucking planet. Let me make this clear for all enlightened atheist Redditors out there, you euphoric beings. I just posted that video to make jokes. The guy was being a douchebag, so, you know, that's ripe for making jokes about. If you're gonna dish out jokes and be mean, you should be able to take some jokes as well, as should your fans. It was not there as some type of moral high ground where I'm trying to rally a team of elite gamers to show Brian that he's a bad person and going to hell for insulting gamers. No, I just wanted to make jokes. I pointed out why he's a douchebag, and then I made jokes at him and about him. It's not supposed to be some thought-provoking piece that rattles your very soul and makes you self-reflect on yourself. I just wanted to make some fucking jokes. Meanwhile, Reddit's like, oh, this guy's such a hypocrite. Yeah, Brian was insulting those guys, but this guy's no better. He's insulting Brian. Oh, disgusting. Jokes? What do you mean, jokes? On the internet in 2019, isn't that illegal? This man should be thrown in jail for making jokes. He should be in the slammer right now. I don't get it. How dumb is Reddit overall? Or not even dumb. I think it's just blatantly ignorant to just social shit in general. I think it's very clear I was just making jokes. It wasn't supposed to be some type of moral piece. Yeah, I pointed out he's a douchebag. Yeah, I pointed out it's rude. It is. And then I made jokes. It's not like I was there to be better than Brian. I just wanted to make some fucking jokes. And I think Facebook understood that. They at least knew it was there for jokes, not some type of moral piece. But let me give you a little background on the Facebook thing. So Brian Taylor's got a Facebook page, a fan page. It's not his page. And it started out as a satire piece to make fun of Brian Taylor originally. And then it got hijacked by people that actually like Brian Taylor, so now it has this identity crisis where sometimes it supports him, and then other times it just takes the dick right out of him. So it's got this weird dichotomy going on, this weird civil war, and it seems I've united them as a common enemy like the raid boss, so now they've all come together to insult me, and I can't tell if it's ironic or not, and I don't really care because it's pretty goddamn entertaining. So Brian Taylor, the owner of the account, posted this, where he calls me a neck-bearded virgin who attacks BT. It's a bit of a stretch. I can tell the person who owns this account's probably in like mid-30s, because they must have just read neck-bearded virgin on like an archived 4chan source trying to catch up with like internet lingo and shit. I don't have a neck beard. I don't even grow hair down here except for like rogue pubic hairs that'll pop up here and there, which look fucking disgusting. And if I did have a neck beard growing in, I would immediately nair that off or like go to laser hair removal because I just can't stand the look of neck beards. I'm sure some people can pull them off. I can't. And I know neck beard's supposed to just be a general insult, but in this case it doesn't really apply. Virgin, I'm not a virgin, but if you want to make me a virgin in your own headcanon lore to jerk off to, I'm totally fucking fine with that as well. But anyway, the people, he posted this, and then the fans or the people shitposting for Brian Taylor hopped on board, and there's some bangers in there. So the senile owner of this page says, odds on this bastard living in his parents' basement at 30, and the fans of this page are so fucking dumb, the response to this was, $1.02. How do you even dress yourself in the morning? That's not how odds work. Are you fucking kidding me? How fucking dumb are you? I'm not gonna sit here and be your 3rd grade teacher and teach you how this works, but god damn. I want you to go through this out loud in your head, looking in the mirror at some point. Someone asks you, hey, what are the odds that this horse wins the horse race? Your response, $1.02. Does that sound right to you? Or if you want to do it in a more social situation, what are the odds I get real fucked up at this party and bang this girl that I've been interested in? $1.02 odds. Does that sound right? No, it doesn't. You need to rehearse a little bit here. Holy shit. And that's what most of the comments are. There's also this really cute, innocent one. Is anyone else Googling lolly porn? This poor guy. This guy's obviously probably a middle-aged father. He doesn't know what that is, and he's in for a real rude awakening. Or he's gonna find something very sexually evil within himself. It's one or the other, really. Could go either way. I really just don't have a whole lot to say about the comments on here or the beef between Brian Taylor and I, because I really think most of these are ironic. I just really, it feels that way. It feels like they're all in on the joke, and some of them are really sad that I almost have to convince myself that it's ironic at some point. Some of them I just plain out, just outright can't understand, like this one. He doesn't look like he plays any sports. Clearly an uneducated man who's got no idea. You bagged a Coleman in 86 kicking 100 snags, BT, goodness gracious me. Don't know what's going on in the brain department here. I understood maybe half of those words. I have no fucking clue what bagging a Coleman 86 100-foot snag, proton, electron, kinesiology, power stone, loop-de-doop, and pull is. So a lot of it's just lost in translation on these. I can't even tell if they're insulting me or not, because it just doesn't make sense. I don't know the sport. Then there's some real internet tough guys like, man, if he said this to Brian, I bet Brian would rip his goddamn tits off. I know I would if I ever saw this guy saying that shit. It's jokes. You need to have some thicker skin. I understand you're on your Facebook safe space, but it's a fucking joke. It's not really a call to action or violence. It's just making a fucking joke. And then there's this post right here comparing me to this character. And that's fair. I'll give you that. That's fair, honestly. You've got me on that one. Of the entire 1,000 comments, that's probably the best one. And really, I just don't have a lot to say about these, because again, I really feel like most of them are just in on the joke. So, Brian Taylor, this isn't his page, he hasn't responded, he probably won't. He seems like the kind of guy that can probably take a joke. He doesn't need limp-dicked Facebook fan pages fighting his battles for him. I'm sure he can handle it himself if he wants to, or there's a chance that he understands it's a goddamn joke. Reddit's the one that actually got under my skin just because of these fucking fart-sniffing, humorless assholes acting like they're the moral internet police, and you're not allowed to make jokes at any point for any reason whatsoever. Like, you can criticize the jokes saying they're not good, that's totally fine, I get that. But to say that, you know, it's so hypocritical, jokes, that doesn't make any sense, that's just stupid. I hate that. So Reddit's the one that I actually felt more offended by than the Brian Taylor fan page that went out of their way to make a beef out of it, and I can't even tell if it's genuine or not, but either way it was entertaining. So that's about it. Brian Taylor was still a douchebag in that interview. He might be a good guy in real life, I don't know. That's it. See ya.